Hey everybody, welcome to part 3 of Disco Elysium, being played live on Twitch. So if you ever want to join us live here, just 3 p.m. Pacific time. Sometimes I'm a little late, but today I was a couple minutes late, but not a big deal. Nobody's watching this anyway, so. Alright, let's, without further ado, let's get started. So we do need to talk to the Union. The fancy lady gave us a mission to crack down on drug dealers, which I don't know. Maybe I think I did that on my last playthrough. I helped her out, so kind of want to see what the Union has in store for us. The street looked that good last playthrough. Plaza, I guess. I didn't see that sign before. Maybe there was an update. Let's talk to this guy.
Welcome to Revachol.
Mark isn't addressed to you, it's addressed to the lieutenant. Hey, I know Revachol, that's where we are.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
You tell them.
It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
No, what's going on here?
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Revachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should watch myself and behave. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would...
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Fucking A, Kim, I got your back.
You two make a cute couple. You know that?
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Now that that's settled, we have a couple of questions.
Whatever you say, officers.
He smells of heavy motor oils, and his breath of high tar content cigarettes, probably Astra Whites. You could ask him to show you the soles of his boots. He definitely looks like someone capable of a lynching. Maybe he was present.
Found this mug in the trash. Is it yours?
Oh, man. Oh, man, that's great. Look at that guy go. I haven't seen anything that funny in a while.
Is it yours?
God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine.
He doesn't live in Martinez.
What are you hauling?
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation.
How long has this been going on?
The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month, 2 months maybe. But this here is just the last week or so.
What kind of cargo are you supposed to pick up?
Apples.
Apples?
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions?
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were bested.
Let me see the soles of your boots.
Been admiring the stompers, huh? Sure thing. Check them out.
On the bottom of the man's boots, you see an intricate tangle of treads with no immediately discernible pattern.
What's up with your soles?
It's Revachol.
Where'd you get boots like that?
Custom made. Cost me a pretty penny.
Why?
For when the invasion comes. The last thing they'll see before the lights go out is illustrious Revachol.
It doesn't look like the lieutenant cares. He just makes a little note.
You understand you're stomping on Revachol every day, don't you?
No, it's not like that. You don't get it. It's when I kick them, you know? Well, fuck it, it's too complex for you.
You're lorrymen, right? What's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
The smell of booze and cigarettes. What's different about narcotics?
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector.
He's too racist to use drugs. I got it.
They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
Listen, I agree. It's our responsibility to keep this poison off the streets of Revachol, right?
He eyes you warily, unsure how to respond. This goes on for about 2 seconds. Then,
I don't know shit, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
So why are you still hanging around here? Most of the other lorrymen have left.
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
there was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
I did see one lorry with the trailer doors open on my way here. Do you know what happened?
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
Bad for him, I guess.
It's a fucking travesty, is what it is.
If it's not you, then who's running drugs through Terminal B?
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
Who's that?
He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Really, he's just selling his employer stuff. Stuff he stole after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry.
Where do I find it?
Just follow the smell. It smells like apricot and oil when you're nearby.
Yes, yes. Where is he?
Looks like I offended your partner there. Too bad. Sealang's usually a little bit south of here, near the canal. You can't miss him. Just watch yourselves. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right. 100%.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
Guess so.
What is it? It's getting dark.
Scab?
I'm not a scab, I'm a cop.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife?
I'll come to Martinez investigating a murder.
Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
Maybe you want to help us solve it by telling me you did it.
Of course, Policia. It wasn't me. You can rule me out. Easier that way.
He didn't do it. It's the truth.
Hey, you're the man in the boots at the gates. Kuno said you knew about the armor.
The little boy had a good on his promise.
It's promise.
To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me, pardon the choice of words, not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes.
So Kuna used us to what? Scare you?
It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
He thinks, not yet. Better to get this business out of the way. Sweeter then.
The probe into the armor. What did you learn?
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part.
What sort of technical stuff?
I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia.
Hold up. 4 pieces. Helmet, cuirass, gauntlets, boots. What about the leggings?
Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
I'm ambitious. I'm gonna find all the pieces.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, but okay. Let's find all of it.
A Mesquite epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you.
Thanks for your cooperation, sir.
No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor right now.
I'm looking for assistance with the dead body situation.
Body still hanging in the tree? Hey, that's a rough pickle. Can't help you with that, sorry. I'm not really an admirer of dead bodies. Might be someone else from the Union can render assistance.
Does this mean you can let me through the gate?
I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
If it's all so simple, why don't the strikebreakers just go up the stairs?
That simple? I just walk
Aye.
in?
Walk right past Measurehead and go in.
Past Measurehead?
Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him,
Right.
then press the button to unlock the door, then go past him again,
Okay.
and you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
So you're saying it's actually quite difficult.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best Measurehead in a physical confrontation,
Me? No, I can't.
or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible.
Has anyone ever bested him in a physical confrontation?
Not yet, no. He's incredibly strong.
Any of the scabs tried converting to his worldview?
Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition.
Got it.
Sure.
I'm a bit short of money right now. Give me some of it.
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
Flip a coin. Catch it. I got good hand-eye coordination. This should be easy.
The coin lands into your hand as if it has always belonged there. The swallow returns.
Appreciate it.
Always glad to help out the RCM. Shame I can't do more. Things are meager at the moment due to... You know, the winter's fat is slowly running out and all. Still better than scabbing, though.
He has problems getting by.
Nothing to worry about, really. The jam's a bit of a mess. Cargo can't get in or out. The rationing is a bit stricter, is all. Supplies should last the strike, though.
Every little bit helps, man.
I'm always glad to help out when possible. Not like these slithering scabs.
What's this strike about anyway?
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the Union boss. and are on a better footing with the organization.
Nice talk, better get moving. Some money up there.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger, because you are not a threat to me. What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity?
Merely standing up makes you sweat profusely. Your breathing is erratic. Your own heartbeat in your ears grows frantic. And you feel your blood pressure rise.
Pathetic physical.
Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman and your pedomorphic friend. This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct, but it is a liability here on Battlefield Martinez.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
Your body is unimportant. Unpleased, we need to get Harvard.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Alcohol.
Yes, Al Ghul.
He means alcohol.
You mean alcohol?
Correct. My small skull servant. Al Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison. A parasitic fungus that has colonized your race. It is a trick the desert pygmies played on you for humiliating them and stripping them of their land.
This explains everything.
Servitude to Al Ghul does not explain everything. There are other reasons for your race descent.
Is it really so bad?
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
You're right, I'm a servant of Al Ghul, but I still need the body down from the tree.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
Show him the ham still got it.
The race stuff is unimportant. I just need to help me do my job, please.
Begging for help. Attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor. This man is not budging. Let's hope his superiors inside are more cooperative.
Those are people who put the dead body up there. You people should help me get it down.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war. Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
So weird, don't you? Are they white?
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that.
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Yeah, you still serve them. How does that factor into your life?
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront polycultural capital, something your race, naivistic communists, never did. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
The jam is a mysterious fourth thing.
Jam. Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? You have picked them up from rock and roll songs?
I got them from disco, actually.
Offshoots of the Seminoles people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It is a shame upon my race. But what is done is done. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race.
I don't really know who the Seminoles are. Recently experienced head trauma.
I can see that. The Seminoles are the South Island race, haplogroup A4A, the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericarnassus and arrived here 4,000 years ago. We are the future. That is all you need to know.
So you were born and raised on the islands before you moved to Rubicon?
I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulumbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Seminoles women walk into the grey mass on Ile de Fantôme, waiting on immaculate conception from the pale.
So you did not come from the islands?
No. I have heard about it on the radio.
So you're not really Seminoles, you're just from Rubicon.
I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Seminoles strategy. Spreading through its trade networks, our culture will dominate the world. You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with, and never getting that dead body down from the tree.
Kim, what do you think about this?
I think this racist is better than the last. But the next racist will be the really good one.
That will be the...
Don't be a lucky racist.
He will grant us 3 wishes.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits, a protruding occiput, and an indented zygomatic bone.
The lieutenant does not flinch.
You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a complete invalid. He still has the use of his mind.
Know anything about this mug?
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Know anything about it?
Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it.
Those tattoos you're supposed to mean.
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a redhead woman visiting the fritter nearby. He must think redheads are immigrants.
I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently
his
draw
tattoo
a
is.
phrenologic grid on my skull
hilarious.
and features. This should dispel any doubt.
Are you sure I'm not craniometrically superior to you?
You exhibit forward projection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability. From a purely aesthetic standpoint, the dimple in your jaw makes you look like a baby. This is not craniometry, just an observation.
What else?
It is impossible to see any more of your bone structure. It is covered in the ravages of Al-Ghul. From what remain of your features, I can see fleshy lips, baldness of the head, and long arms relative to lower limbs. This leads me to conclude you are not a police officer. You are a common criminal.
Nice.
An offspring of murderers and sailors from Sur-la-Clé and Vesper, and possibly even the degenerate sheep herders of Ubi.
Interesting. So one of my ancestors was Sir Leclerc and the other was Vesper.
Your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is the same as all Revacholians. Your parents and their parents made the decision to reproduce while under the influence of Al-Ghul. That is the only reason you are here.
He's right there. It's almost impossible to get it on unless you're both drunk. It's too scary when people are sober.
We still need to get into the harbor. We need help with the tree situation. There must be another way.
Yeah, I don't want to really become a racist from a dice roll. I think it would be unfair to Ken, anyways, at the very least.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
His voice is the loudest of the lot and oddly screechy for a man of his size.
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
No.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here.
Right to work! Right to work!
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
None of the cause we're talking about.
Rights of people. Rights of workers. To have gainful employment. To make a salary. And feed their families.
I think I've chosen this side yet.
Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups, but you're essentially still workers. I don't trust cops. but I can see you understand the right to work! Right to work!
Regardless, I have some questions for you.
Maybe you should ask them the questions. Like, why we're not allowed to make a living here.
Shame on you!
We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
I want to get into the harbor too.
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. You trying to meet their fat boss?
I'm interviewing people about the murder that took place here behind the hostel cafeteria.
I know nothing about a murder.
The mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through him. Interesting.
Why so tense?
What are you talking about? I'm not tense.
Yes, he's tense.
Right to work!
It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
I don't know.
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
Pity.
Let us work!
Exactly is your role here.
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
And you're unable to reach the entrance?
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
Have you considered storming in like all of you?
Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit. They have that look.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
What is a strike?
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people.
What do the strikers want?
Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right to work!
There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting.
Ill-fitting, what does that mean?
His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence.
You're wearing new clothes?
He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what. You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
Okay, I gotta ask, where exactly are you from?
What's it to you?
Curiosity? Can you figure out the strike mess?
Big mess, caused by union greed. But I only fight for the rights of people.
I already got that. I'm interested in your background.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill.
A bouncer? Where? I frequent a lot of bars, maybe it's what I know.
Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell?
Not right now, but I might have been there if I remember things well.
Uh-huh. It was a long time ago.
All these strike breakers.
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to do!
Don't have any tips on how to punch a guy out, do you? Let's say a really big waist here, scarring your butt.
Not before you get in there and get your ass whooped. Learn by failure, I always say.
He might have some advice, but you got to at least try to fight Measurehead first. Return if you fail.
We know how to get in there.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
What is this?
It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack. Because there's a secret door hidden behind the panels of Eternite. That's why they're too orderly.
Full panels.
There it is. You see a shabby little door.
What is this, then? A tool shed? Let's investigate.
I've already apologized 3 times. I made one fascist statement. 0 honor. There should be the Union people in the bar. Oh, I can't get up there. Silver traces of gunpowder powder.
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you.
I heard amphetamines make you a really good detective. Are you a really good detective?
No, I'm just a regular detective, thank you very much.
Somebody's taking narcotics here. Perhaps the police should interfere.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. However, see that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? The secret path the local kids use.
This is Kuno's hideout. Let me get up there. I guess I can go this way. Got a postcard. Okay. Oh, I got $2.30. Roll one in it now.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. When the wind ruffles the cloak, you can most definitely see a white rectangle on its back.
Son of a gun, it's a cop's cloak.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless with your equipment. You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance over the container yard. The look in his eyes is a mix of the engineer-like interest and the wonder of a 6-year-old seeing a horse for the first time. That machine is a Kvalsund 1020 HK.
Convulsion 1020 HK.
Is it? Kvalsund makes a lot of heavy equipment, but this is phenomenal, even for them. But I digress. We were focusing on your cloak here.
Exactly are we doing it?
I was under the assumption we could ask the leader of this union to help us get this body down. This is why we're here, right? Or it could be that we are just exploring.
He's thinking you've forgotten where you are again.
You really think this cloak is mine? Should I go for it? Jump?
The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it, well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2 meter stops. Whenever you're ready to do it, I'll be right behind you.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide?
Oh, it actually worked. 28%.
As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses.
Oh, my savoir-faire helped. Close your eyes, let your senses take in the world around you.
Ankles tingling from the tension, blood roaring in your ears. You are ready for your rendezvous with the concrete pavement below.
He's so on the money, Bratan! Just imagine yourself dual-wielding a bottle and a flaming cigarette whilst airborne!
As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realize it's been a while since you felt so alive, alert, capable. Must be the adrenaline.
I knew you could do it. My climbing down might not have been as disco as your jump, but at least we can explore the harbor now.
With your feet firmly planted on the concrete, the noise of the harbor rushes back in.
Give me your coat. Yeah, I'm gonna have the spirit to corpse anyway. Don't like it. Still have a hat and glasses. Bottles of Commodore Red and potent
All
toast.
those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here.
Wait, how hard?
Well, they went through 6 bottles of potent Pilsner, 3 bottles of Commodore Red, and almost 4 packs of cigarettes. It must have been pretty hard.
Did I do this?
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you.
Looks like I had a lot of fun.
It really, really doesn't. Let's turn our attention elsewhere and move on.
What's this thing?
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud.
So this is where Renee works. I'm slipping around.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
As I said, I'm gonna look around.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, Rene, is dressed in a Royal Carabinier uniform. The girl is young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the camera. Rene looks like he's about to smile. This photo must be tied to some good memories.
Why did you take that picture of René?
I'm gonna ask him about it.
You're really interested in that old soldier. Not sure I understand your fascination, but sure, as long as it doesn't take up a whole lot of time.
How do I actually get... Oh, there's the staircase.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marche and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block. Allumer, on, étendre, off. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. And, with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down. The harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled.
Its purpose? What do you mean?
Moving this container, of course. For this purpose it was built. For this purpose it has acted. And now it will rest.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
I almost have $3 now. Killing it.
Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
Lieutenant, I think there's something special about this container.
You do? Because I don't.
What? Why not?
There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one?
I don't know, Kim, it just feels special.
It's a cargo container, Detective, just like all the others. We're not here to interact with containers. We are here to get the body down from the tree.
No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside the container. You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement.
Does it look like I can open them? Well, maybe. Let's see. See if it'll let me use it.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were locked.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisund on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard.
Terrible meter. Surprised this guy's office is still open. Is it almost midnight? It's 24 is midnight. Good military time.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Let's get straight to business. There's a dead body in the tree.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
Gestures to a tiny chair opposite his giant desk.
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
I'd rather stand.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
He's trying to throw you off your game with this Dubois nonsense. Don't give him the pleasure.
Don't sit. It's kind of a thing.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions. I, too, have convictions. One of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
You're no Titan affiliation, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
Novelty check. Absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Wait, you know Gart?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Keep it, I'm good.
Okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost... The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
I'm not worried. I got this.
Are you all right, Harry? You say you got this, but you seem a little anxious to me. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded. God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
No, I'm not about to cry.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
There are no Harrys. Let me mind go to a safe place.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Actually, this chair is kind of comfortable. I could use a glass of water.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
Are you going to help ask me how I got in?
Harry, honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age...
I'm too surprised by the resilience and athleticism of this tool I've been provided with.
Yes, Harry. You are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry. Very impressive. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
Could you help me get a dead body down from the tree?
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. A steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
Also, I studied the footprints of the crime scene. Worker moves.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you. Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And Jean, please take it easy with the race signs. That's a yes to getting the body down, no to the race signs.
Must be a measurehead.
You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates. He's the big impressive one. You know, tattoos, muscles, ethnic looking. Can't miss him. Great guy.
I want to talk about the hangman.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help you, like I'm helping you with the body. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
Since there's a but.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors.
You heard wrong, Everett. We're not.
Oh, you're being too modest, my friend. But don't worry. This annoying thing I have is completely legal. I just need you to open a door.
The stars aligned into a cosmic frown here. He has your fate decided. Bide your time, however, and let the stars continue their course, and that frown shall turn into a smile. Only if you play along.
Why don't you just open it yourself?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
Whose door is it?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
What do you mean by a weasel?
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
But you don't even know anything about the hanging.
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez.
I can't accept this thing.
Of course, Harry, I understand. But if that's the case, I don't think we'll ever find your gun. Even worse, we won't be able to speak like equals about the murder. Perhaps this was just bad timing for you. Know that you can always come back to me. I really hope you do. For your sake, my sake, and for your gun's sake too.
Yes, we both understand what you meant.
This may be the only way, he thinks. I won't hold it against you. In fact, we probably should reconsider later.
Let's talk about my lost gun.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Hold on, did he really hold my gun hostage?
Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
I will not be blackmailed with this gun business.
Harry! I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around in my neighborhood. Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry.
I assure you we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well.
The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels that the fact you haven't prioritized looking for it is unfortunate, if inevitable, and doesn't put the RCM in a good light.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands.
I'm told the union is involved in the local drug trade.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat Guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
No comment.
Harry, you wound me, Harry, in the heart. But I trust you to put this to bed. Do what you must, and let's change the subject, shall we?
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
I met Joyce, the company representative.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Just pals?
We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her, because you and I are such good friends, and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. And with finding your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy.
What happened with the previous negotiator, Mr. Galmont?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
He made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
Called him a midget.
Harry! I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Funny, Joyce didn't mention the casserole.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly isn't any in his expression or demeanor now.
Everard, Joyce seems to think the union is lowballing her.
Yes, yes. Low-balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
Why haven't you let her in to see you?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everard doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
What's in the container outside your office?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
There's something special about it. It's attached to the Kvalson crate.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
Everard, I'm gonna leave now, but we might talk again later.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Thanks, I was wondering how I was supposed to get out.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take care, Harry.
Well, we got the dead body out of the tree at least. I don't want to talk to this guy.
Container, container, I'll...
The lyrics to this, the accent.
Container, Everard, Everard, Everard. He looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen. Kind of makes you feel like an arsehole for no apparent reason.
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
What is it with you people in scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
You're Ubi, right?
Oh, yes. Born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then. Too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir. Those are just nasty rumors.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
What are you doing with the containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
Everything is so pretty and red. You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar childlike wonder.
Wow, red is so much prettier than drab old green.
Sure is, mister. Sure is. Really livens up the place. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I had to break this bonding moment, but the red containers mean they are replacing the company livery with the union livery, which means this strike isn't gonna stop anytime soon.
Where is everyone? The harbor's empty.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
What kind of trouble did this Titus and his friends get into?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off.
Really? Did they kill someone?
No, I don't think they killed anyone. Let's better talk about something else. Titus and his boys do good work. I don't want to get them in trouble over a little drinking.
Do you work here?
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellet. But everyone calls me Leo. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am.
Hold on, who's this Miss Buford you mentioned?
Oh, Lizzie. She is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything. East of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly. But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood. Knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure.
For a fraction of a second, there's sadness in his eyes.
If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so. And she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years she has.
So Everett trained a lawyer named Miss Beaufort. Interesting.
You're doing a great job around here, Leo.
Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really. Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. But you guys are all right.
The white rectangle on your clothes might not mean an awful lot in Martinez, but the recognition from an authority figure made Leo's day.
What's in that container over there?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Told you.
Bye-bye now.
Can I like dismiss Kim or something?
Yes?
Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to Slight, Precinct 57.
What? No, that can't be right.
Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late and argues with his necktie. You weren't sent here to win.
Kim, what if the precinct sent me on this case because I'm a fuck-up? Like, as a joke.
I've considered it.
But it's not true, right?
I don't think I can say one way or another. I do think it's somewhat unlikely, though.
What is that?
I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win.
Ah, so you are their finest.
I am the finest of nothing.
You really see me as a safe bet?
Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet. But it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
Healed my morale. You seem to be following me.
Excuse me?
Nothing, just an observation.
You have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely collide.
You mean distinctive?
I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, we call it the Jamrock Shuffle. Officers from Jamrock's 41st Precinct tend to move a bit erratically.
How's that?
They say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's erratic, yet thorough. Prioritizes containers.
Yes, but containers contain things. Shiny things. They're interesting.
Kidding. What containers?
I don't know. Containers contain, I guess. I'm making assumptions. We should move on.
Passing along frivolous interdepartmental stereotypes is not usually his oeuvre. He regrets bringing it up.
Yeah, whatever. Go back to that container. Not really worried about it being night. I got nowhere to sleep anyway, so...
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Persuade the door open.
Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Because getting physical wasn't an option.
Because what wasn't an option?
Using my body over my wits.
Now is not the time to get philosophical, detective. You can do that after hours.
It's pretty much after hours. Wait a minute. I'm gonna get out of here. Hurry it up. To find a bag for my stash of cans. I left up there. Get some good money for those. Giant ass print on the pillow and powdered with coffee beans on the breakfast. Someone's habitually chilling next to their media.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, "Tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change." The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
a regular number.
It's unclear whether you actually have muscle memory. Right now, your finger is just drawing vaguely occult patterns in the air.
Useful patterns.
Undoubtedly, no. Sure, why not?
A postcard. A book. The coffee machine. You office shirts. Yeah. That's the stuff. What's this? Intellectual organ in modern day's communism offers a radically Nazist perspective on connected issues.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Never told you to help us get the body down from the tree.
So it was. You surmounted the harbor wall in a display of athletic prowess to reach my superior. Then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning, and I will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you.
That would mean you're openly showing the people that you're taking the Union's side.
Lieutenant, what if we don't want to do that?
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it down ourselves. I can live with a compromise.
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic haplogroup.
Okay then.
Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
So, you guys are like cops or something?
Apparently so.
Cool. I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
I don't. I've seen enough of that dead body already.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everott's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
Jeez, it pisses off that guy.
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
Yes, I'm an unbelievably corrupt cop. I'm corrupt every opportunity I get.
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno. Then,
I gotta wait until the conversation.
the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner. Approaching him, walking past him.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory today.
There's been no side choosing. We did what we had to do. Keep order.
And what you had to do was to become a Union man for all to see.
Jamais vu. Derealization. Jamais vu. The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question. The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Oh, it's down.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy.
A field autopsy?
Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are on number 3.
The fuck are they on about?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up!
Do we have someone else for this? A doctor?
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain. From autopsy to cleanup, to social work, everything.
The honorary rank of detective?
An honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able. Usually after 5 to 8 years of field work. Mine is lieutenant detective.
Yes, I feel like a detective.
You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now...
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
First, what exactly is a field autopsy?
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
Do you have another pair of gloves?
Unfortunately, no.
You have gardening gloves, maybe they're enough?
They are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things, while you will take notes.
We just fill this in, right?
That's right.
I'm gone.
Where have you gone?
Into the wild pale
Where's that?
In the past. Way out west.
Can't get the damn compartment in the ledger open.
The Blue Heart. Oh, that's good shit. Just press down and fuck it open like you always do. Fuck it hard, Copopo the Clown.
I can see her gone, but who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
There's nothing funny about you.
There is nothing funny about jokes either.
Who are you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
I have another question for you.
Go ahead, Kobo.
What is happening?
What do you mean?
Talking to you.
It's the power of your imagination.
Yeah, man! Don't be crazy! Inanimate objects and dead people can't really talk to you. Your wild imagination is doing this. Ask some more of those questions you love so much.
He loves those.
Do I love questions so much?
Because you're a copperoony. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Give me a comical amount of questions.
Coming right up, Copperoony Rooney. This is getting upbeat now.
Is my name Rudy?
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
I do strike myself as a Rudy.
No, you don't. Between you and me, your name is probably Harry.
Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible?
Because you have.
Who killed you?
Love did me in, brother Copo. It was love all along.
Can you ask me a question?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this?
Why?
Looking at my face. Motionless. Looking into my eyes. Standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
Maybe this will lead to something. Something indescribable, unforeseen, miraculous?
Ha!
The clown lips on the corpse appear to smile. Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming. A miracle from the northwest, and it's almost here. You can feel it in the air, on your hands. The cold spring air smoothing them over.
I hate you, you stinking boring.
Do I remind you of someone?
The baby afflicted with harlequinism?
You sure wrinkled out of that one, Coppolini. Do I remind you of someone?
You don't remind me of anyone.
Sure I do. You just don't want to admit it. Do I remind? No, not quite. Sure I do. You come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible. Also, see me in your dreams.
Open your ledger at the field autopsy form.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with,
Begin 1, assistant.
That's you.
Only the first question, and I already don't know the answer.
Not an energetic start to an autopsy, I agree.
Pig's messed up. Kuno feels pity.
Just leave it empty, officer.
the corpse lies there, indifferent to your retrograde amnesia. The next box says,
Coroner's case number
KK57-0803.0815.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date 0803 and time of arrival 0815 on the scene. He's indexed the case after himself, not you.
Should we file the coroner case under me, since technically I arrived on the scene before you?
And what would that make the alphanumeric?
I have no idea.
I do. KK57-0503-0815. Next. NA. Next.
Date of birth.
NA.
Age.
Roughly 50.
Dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side.
I'm gonna write 42.
He nods.
Race.
Mondial.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Sex.
Fucky, fucky!
The little monster exclaims energetically.
Male.
Pigs can have sex?
Right. Fucking. Right, man.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Date of death.
We're still going with March 4th. 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
KK 57 0503 0815 listens motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
Evidence of treatment.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
A strange word. Treatment.
What exactly is treatment anyway?
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
How did you not know that? Aren't you a cop? You're leaving a weak impression here. Say something sure-handed.
I agree. Lividity point to mention.
Then again, the right lividity is easy to produce if you know what you're doing.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
External examination.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
When am I gonna get
Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color, yellow. Length, 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with the age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living person after a swim.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem.
Fucking low velocity! You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max! Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest. Consistent with predation. Ligature mark.
There's a false small folding knife at the other hand, on the belt, just telling you the polyps, or the stench is horrid, after a while,
The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
So you got these chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Not your pig, Kuno.
You are? You're Kuno's pig?
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread, rising from the east. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there, steady now, like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose. You jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there. Already they're buried deep in the man's flesh. Then you rotate them to get a better hold. Then a really, really bad smell is coming from there now. And some kind of cracking sound.
Yeah, fuck him! Fuck that baggery! Corpse fucking time!
Told you my pig was hardcore.
I should have a go first. I think I have a strategy.
He sinks the cutters into the knot, preparing to perform the cuts, with his elbow to his knee for precision. Snap! The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
Here. The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck, on the nape. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia...
No! Let's get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
I gotta get a look at this.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count. covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
Scarring is extensive, way more than a law official's.
We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item, hands.
His flesh is cold, icy.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from? And what's your name? I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Kobo. What can I do for you, Il Kobo di Cappadocia?
Nothing, I got nothing.
Nothing is as nothing does. This was pleasurable. I sincerely thank you for touching my hand. We should do this more often. Be close like this. I mean...
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
Were you expecting any?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
Internal.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
If I may add the moral...
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
The brain is very vulnerable to compromises in its blood supply.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer.
Alright, in it.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it. Gently, a rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
From here, it looks as though the clown-faced man is screaming. The tendons of his jaw are torn apart. Hyoid ripped from the force of the lieutenant's hands. No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his. It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking. Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
Well, again, I don't really know what I was expecting.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary. NA.
Why? Don't we have anything?
Ah. Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
I don't think so.
Neither am I.
That's it?
That's it. Same for toxicology and serology. NA.
Both?
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there.
Completion in me wonders if there's something we can still do.
Like a toxicology screening. At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if it was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Write it down. Keep the wall up.
What's next on the list?
Description of injuries.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
What about the injuries we have inflicted?
Oh, so we inflicted them?
Okay, I have inflicted.
Okay, so there's a spin-stabilized munition from a Kiel A990 muzzleloader lodged in his lung, and an incision on the thorax from a chain cutter. I wouldn't mention those. Better not to muddy the waters.
I agree, the waters are muddy enough.
See? These pigs are fucking corrupt.
Why don't you fuck him if you love him so much?
Now, injuries.
Bite marks.
Head, chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. And your opinion, officer?
Non-fatal post-mortem.
Agreed. Next injury?
Contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Non-fatal post-mortem.
Right. Next,
Ligature mark.
a dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible. Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
I don't think this was the fatal injury.
He is deep in thought, eyes fixed on the bright red ring around the dead man's neck.
Why do you say that?
I'm serious, I don't think this was the injury that killed him.
Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal?
Why weren't his hands tied? A big man like this, I would tie his hands down when marching him to the gallows.
Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrist. That part got blurry for me. The stench. But you are right, I was ready to call this. Now I think we should leave it empty, at least for the time being. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
First, how'd it go?
It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of an autopsy. But, personally, I do not see this as a parameter for success. We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
What else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries, too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
What now?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg for processing.
He's thinking, did I miss something? You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something. You run your hands over the victim's cold body. The genitals in his breeches continue to be unnoteworthy. You see the penis of a dead man. If you've seen it once, you've already got the picture.
Can't get enough of that dick.
Do you think we missed something?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
I've got a gut feeling that there's more to this corpse.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast.
Okay, where do we find a bridge for the body?
It would have to be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling in Rags and the Fritz store down at the gates. If they don't know, But only if all else fails.
Fuck are you looking at, Beano, man? You want a piece of the Kuno? Wanna get fucked?
Only if all else fails.
Kuno looks like he gets around. Knows Martinez. And its fridges too, probably.
Take another look at
Hurry.
the body
This
first.
is one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we are looking for will become harder to find.
Perception. Perception.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
The autopsy, you said you have ancient mysteries.
Oh yes, Kobo Milobo, in the gift horse's mouth. Tracks and wakes and waterways. Ancient materials buried.
What to wear, brother?
Just a small gulp away. My beloved Kobo. A small gulp away. Oh yes, Kobo. It's all right. Come back later, Kobo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible.
You really ought to wait until the cadaver is refrigerated. Digging around in this mess now is proving hopelessly difficult.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager for damages yet.
You should take care of that, then.
I don't have the money.
Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the streets. We'll figure something out.
Though he finds this situation frustrating, he is doing his best to not make you feel any worse than you already.
He's a good guy. So I get to annoy the cafeteria manager some more. That's always fun. Shoot, I was hoping to sneak around without Kim, but I guess we're gonna have to hold off on that till next time. There's a couple new people.
Can I help you?
I seem to be in need of a fridge.
Yes, yes. For the dead body. You want to put a dead corpse into my fridge, right?
Sure.
Correct him.
No, we want to put a very important dead body in your fridge.
I don't care. You're not putting a dead body into my fridge.
I'm not even gonna ask why, you're just gonna say something mean.
This is a culinary establishment, not a morgue. You don't have to ask me why you can't store a dead body in my kitchen.
It would only be for...
Lieutenant, you too? You're asking too? No. The answer is no. I will not turn this place into some kind of macabre circus.
Wow. Turned the lieutenant off like he was a busted old radio. He really is the lord of his realm.
Let's go talk to the freight clerk.
What about the money I owe?
Yes. Have you got it?
I was wondering if I could come to some kind of arrangement tonight.
Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
Come on, man. After everything I've been through.
What about what I have been through, huh? You're not the goddamn protagonist of this story.
I am.
I am. This is my hostel cafeteria, and I need my money.
Literary demotion. That's the worst.
Hold on. I still have my key, you know.
Good luck trying to use it.
Draconian measures.
All the locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked down here with a master key before your guest key will open the lock.
This conversation isn't going anywhere, is it?
Not until you bring me the money.
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
I really didn't want to resort to this. The man is thinking.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side. Old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, 50 years since this was painted, maybe. The door does not budge.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
It's part of the whirling in rags. There's something about this place that makes me want to know.
Eccentric. But okay, I suppose we could look into it. As a side investigation.
He's not bothered by your eccentricity. He seems genuinely intrigued himself.
No, the door is a mega investigation.
Hardly. Anyway, Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
I think they'd have some booze. It's a kitchen. Probably hiding it. The guys are here. Something in this wad car. I'm just trying to get rid of Kim. That's my main goal here. I want to steal those boots. And ask that old lady for money.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio.
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the suspect transport enclosure.
Transport enclosure? Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark.
I confiscated this for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal.
What are those things?
There are spinner hubcaps, frivolous things you put on your wheels. When the wheels come to a stop, the caps keep on spinning. There's no real use for them, it's just for vanity.
What do you mean you confiscated them?
A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son, and high.
Isn't that corruption?
I don't know. Is it? I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back.
Did you want to put these on spinners on your machine?
No, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC anyway. A cop with spinners. That would be outrageous.
Yeah, outrageously cool.
He flashes a smile, barely visible in the dark.
Sorry you have to sell them because of me.
As I said, they're useless anyway. I should have remembered I have these earlier.
But thank you.
Thanks, I appreciate the help.
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners. Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your copo type.
Hey, what are capo types?
Yes. Guess what's yours?
I guess it's sorry, cop.
Yes, sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then. Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here.
Okay, what are the other capo types?
Oh, you know. Apocalypse, Superstellar, the advanced interesting cop, liquid shadow cop. But you're too sorry to say those things. So, here we go?
No, I'm actually not sorry. I changed my mind.
No, you don't. Come on. You'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes. Stop wasting time and begin the repentance.
No, I'm really not sorry. Fuck off.
Wow. Okay. Fuck off. Maybe we were wrong about you then.
I'm too polite. This game really nails you and it hurts. I'm just gonna sell these hubcaps and then hopefully Kim will take off after that. I'll call it a day. I always go a little over. It's hard to quit. That's the sign of a good game.
Greetings on this fine night. What brings you here?
It's cool that you're still open. Big city vibes.
The pawn shop is always open.
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Prolidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
Prolidon? What's that?
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Is it just me, or is it really warm in here?
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Interesting. Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your jacket.
Say, what are the triangles on your vest?
I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade. You know, after the People's Pile disaster. Had to take Prolidon for radiation sickness. That's what you were hinting at just now, wasn't it?
He's taken for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
People's Pile, what's that?
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you, too.
Tell me more about the Emergency Relief Brigade.
We were an all-volunteer force. Self-organized. Tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed with a red drop of blood.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance. Didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick.
Must have been tough. Were you active cleanup?
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened. And why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment. And early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could.
Whose fault is it that the generator failed?
No one's. Everyone's.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen?
How'd you end up running a pawn shop?
The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it. So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can. Still in the same city, but...
Thanks for telling me.
I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
Can you care to share some of that prairie you're in the
Have you tried it before?
The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knickknacks on display. Looks like he doesn't want to get involved. Go ahead then, he thinks. As long as you can walk straight, I don't care.
I think I've tried it once. I liked it.
Here you go, man.
Thanks, man.
Of course.
Something I'd like to sell.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pawn shop.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump-a-mesque banger? No matter. I'll give you 200 real.
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
Of course. I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again.
Thank you. Here's the 130 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
The windfall is a small consolation.
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Anything else you're thinking of selling? I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment, and especially that tie. It swallows photons around it. I have no need for necrotic objects.
Your mother is a necrotic object! I'm fun! Look at me sparking in the light of the projector!
Another time, perhaps.
What a shirt. All other shirts pale in comparison to the muscular man.
Welcome to Hyomdal, officer.
Yeah, I completely beat the game, but I don't think I ever snuck around without Kim. So I don't know if he just leaves automatically, or if I need to tell him that I'm good.
Yes?
So I'll take care of my bill, call it. Kim's just gonna leave automatically.
Can I help you? Yes. Have you got it? Well? Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow. The electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
Yes? What do you want to know? Good.
Should I talk to the fruit lady? Alright, maybe this is a good place to stop. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it here. This one health, but plus 1 second. Bring on anything from hot flashes to military grade psychosis. Consumption. -1 suggestion. -2 authority. Alright, so I'm going to call it here, and hope you all are enjoying the case, and we will see you next Saturday when we ditch Kim and go do some corruption. I'll catch y'all later. Bye-bye.